So it was on to number 5, lesson 5. You'll watch the video, you'll do the quiz, and then we'll just do a couple of pretty simple things. And the main part of this video will be to be looking forward to what we'll be doing when we get into programming Java through the second half of the course. And I'll tell you the reasons why we did that through most of, or a lot of, class 3 anyway. But let's do this first. So do the quiz, watch the video, see what he's talking about with the start function, and I'll rephrase it a little bit. Function start. He's going to tell us in the video that we don't want to have any code which is just on its own outside of functions. We'd already seen the function turn right, open brace, close brace, and then what turn right does in between those two braces. And we had our main code up here, but it's not the way most programming languages work. It's not good style or practice. And from this point forward, it'll be just wrong to have anything that is outside of a function. In fact, you're going to have, from this point forward, as the video will have told you, a function which is called start, start. And here's where we made the transition into looking at other code to recognize that a lot of other programming languages do have the same sort of thing. We briefly looked at this in the last video, but Java applications that are executable, that can run, have to have a main method. Every single one of these projects, if I went to any one of them, doesn't matter, where do I want to go to? That's awfully big. These are all awfully big. But if I look through this, sure enough, I may not find it right at the very top, but sooner or later, there it is, there will be a main. The point is that the computer has to know where to start. Do I start here? Do I start there? Where do I start? Do I start at the very first line? And the answer is, with most programming languages, you start at, for any given language, a particular function. In Java, it's the main function. In our JavaScript with Corral the dog, it's start. So it wouldn't even matter if I had all this down below. The program would still work because when we reset it and started it, it would go directly to the start. It would find the start and it would work through. And eventually we're going to get to that turn right up there at the top, jump up to it, back down, and we're done. So the video will have done a little bit better job than I just did there, but you're going to move on to this pancakes, which you've already done from the previous lesson. Only this time, not only are you going to have a make pancakes function, which you're going to call 3 times, but you're going to have a start function. So basically the way that it looks, and I'm not so sure. Yeah, it's going to look like this. So your make pancakes is going to be the way that you did your pancakes before, but up here in the start, well, you have a start, and you're going to call it make pancakes, call it make pancakes, call it make pancakes. So then a lot of the rest of the class was me just showing how this works, and now I'm going to tell you why. So one reason, and one of these reasons will probably fit you watching this at home or in quarantine, wherever you are, that you may have a little bit more experience than this, and this may be kind of boring to you because you get it. But on the other hand, you may have not programmed at all before, and so you just want to know. You want to know how much you can learn, what you can do within a semester in high school, at least our high school. And this is it. This is what we ended up doing last semester. Of course, it was a pandemic, and there were reasons why there was other more multimedia stuff that I couldn't really do with them. But yeah, so I'll just show you one or both of these. I don't know which one I showed to each section, coding games, but whatever this one is. What's this one? This one is something I'm calling 10-step Java. So this was listing off what I would see as the 10 most fundamental things, or 10 of the most fundamental things that you need to understand to be able to code in Java. Java, by the way, has only got 51 reserved words. So there are 51 words, and then there are a bunch of things that you do with those that aren't that difficult, really. As I've found myself saying a number of times at the beginning of the school year, it's not the things that are difficult. It's the how you use them. It's the creativity and the logic, but it's the creativity, how you mix and match these things. And furthermore, the complexity with which these things can turn into. And so it's the management of that complexity, which again is why we keep on going over all these how parts of breaking things up, commenting, understanding the problem, going step by step, right? So anyway, back to the idea that there are these fairly simple structures that we can use, and this is a calculator program that one step at a time uses them all, so I'll just run it. And I'm not going to take the half an hour, 40 minutes that I took with the kids in class live. I'll just run through this a little bit. You get a general idea, and know that you will understand this sort of stuff by the end of the semester. What do we want to do? Work with, say, num. What do we want to do? We want to do maybe a division. First number, 10, 3, and then it's a little bit more complicated program than a simple calculator because it does both integer division and real number division for reasons that will become clear when we get to that. And if I just ran it again, I want to do another, you don't have to run it again, I can just do another calculation. True. This time I'm going to work with a set. And how many numbers? 3, just to keep it simple. And the numbers are going to be 6 and 7 and 8, let's say, because I want to do an average to show you that it works. And we get 7 and it works. False to whether we want to continue this or not. So, sooner or later, we'll get into an integrated development environment, probably this one. And for sure Java, though. For sure, one way or another, whatever we do, it will be Java eventually, once we learn the fundamentals through Corel, the dog. That's it. Any questions, as always, just give me... Is that only 8 minutes? That's pretty darn good, actually. Stop recording.